Well, this is going to be a very interesting type of video, and a video I wouldn't make. This is not a video I would usually make, but this is Camel race tests. This is my developer commentary. Basically, I wanted to make a version of horse race tests with camels. The original idea was made by my friend Nameless Enjoyer, who I will bring up later, but this is the last Scratch version. Apparently Scratch has like file size limits, because you can export your projects as files, but they have to be, I believe it's less than 10 megabytes. Once you hit that ceiling, you can't, you can't like add anything else, it starts breaking. And I didn't want to downsize what I already had, so I figured I would just port it over to a new engine and then build off of it. So it's going to be built in block-based Godot coding from now on, or at least that's the plan. I think I'll demonstrate a race while I talk, because, well, you'll see. If you don't know what horse race test is, this is pretty similar to it.
Place your bets in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
So I did the announcer voice. In horse race tests, they actually use a text-to-speech thing, which I considered using, but I didn't want to. I wanted to do some voice acting since I like to do that. As for other sounds... Whoa, are you gonna already get to the goal? Okay, oh. Holy shit, that was fast. Amazing job, Butterscotch. I'll get into the camel names in a little bit, but I'll keep going with the sound design.
Bets in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
So the gate opening sound and the sound that the camels make when they hit each other or a wall, that's just lifted straight from horse race tests. I think I modified the hitting the wall sound a little bit, but not very much. The music you're hearing, that was made by Nameless Enjoyer. The original version of this track was too high quality, so I had him bit crush it and make it sound like this, and I think that this is perfect. This is just like amazing. He's made 2 tracks so far. I've only used one, but I plan on using both. I think the second one is honestly better. So that's 2 tracks, 3 if you include the high quality version of this track. Outside of that, for the victory screen, the sound design is... It's pretty simple stock sounds. It's just a sitar stinger, and then a camel moaning sound. It's actually the same sound. If you ever played classic Doom, that's one of the sounds an imp can make when you kill it. It's a camel sound. I had to use that sound in particular because it's just funny and iconic to me. So we have 2 camels here that I've created. I used 2 main programs to create the camels art. It was JS Paint and Pixel Art. That's what I used. And I actually based both their sprites off of existing horse race test characters. The brown one, Sand Muncher, he is based off of a sprite for a bulletin board from horse race tests. And the other one is based off of Resolute Mind Afternoon. They're both very heavily modded, but they're still somewhat recognizable. I believe Sand Muncher is based off of an older version, before the modern version of Bulletin Board that has like the pronounced feet going on. Oh, I thought we were about to have a Sand Muncher victory. We might. You're very close. Outside of that, what else is there? The reservoir of water that you have to get to in order to win a race. It's actually 2 sprites. I made it in the same way that I made the camels, but it's actually 2 sprites on top of each other. I made the original sprite to not have a shadow, but then I realized, well, what if I gave it a shadow? What if I made it so that would look a bit more high quality? It would look more interesting. And so I did that, and I like how it looks. But one thing I didn't like is how it interacted, because you could touch the shadow of the reservoir and still win, which is a small detail, but it just didn't look good to me. So I brought back the old version of the sprite with no shadow, and I made that the technical... See? Didn't touch the shadow, but did touch the reservoir. Great job, Sand Muncher.
Place your bets in 5.
So the one that actually has collisions is the old version that does not have a shadow, but the one with the shadow is just on top of it. So it maintains the look without having any of the problems with the camels. For the actual track, I just drew it in the Scratch Sprite Maker. It's a really badly designed track, I'm not gonna lie. It's so bad. It feels like it's intentionally designed to make the camels have to backtrack a lot. All the angles are pointing in the opposite direction that they need to go. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for art. Ooh, wait. There's a secret camel that I have not used, and I probably will never use. Sand Muncher is the first one that I designed, and Butterscotch was the third one that I designed. I'll put up a picture of the second one. I'm never using this guy. His sprite work is really bad, and he doesn't look good. He was the inspiration for making Butterscotch with the color scheme that he has now. So, you were good for something. You helped me create a much better camel in the future. So, sound design. I've covered sound, I've covered art. What else is there? Let's see. Oh wait, no, I'm not actually done with art. There are technically more camels on the way. I'm gonna make more myself, but there are 2 more. One of them doesn't have a name, and the other one, who is also being designed by Nameless, that's Moose Maverick. So, if I release another dev commentary, I will talk about the other camels that are released. But yeah, I will definitely end up using those in future builds. I don't know who's gonna win this. Is it gonna be... Ooh. The victory screen is just... I took a page out of the horse race test book, basically, where you take... For that, you just took a picture of a horse, like a stock image, and you just colored it to the horse that you wanted. And I just copied that. I Googled camel, took one of the top results off Google. That's the image I'm using. I've just recolored it for each one, and I give it a different font. As for the names, Sand Muncher was just... Since Sand Muncher was the first one that I designed, I didn't really have a name in mind. But I asked my friend group, and they immediately answered Sand Muncher, and I couldn't pass up on a great name like that. Butterscotch is a bit more complicated. I was actually watching my friend Rogue Pluto. He was playing Minecraft, and he had a tamed camel named Butterscotch, and that inspired me to name this one like that. Though this one has a secondary inspiration. If you've seen horse race tests, the brown horse is named Doorknob, but doorknob isn't one word. Doorknob is 2 words with a space. It's door and knob, and is a homage, I guess, to that. This one is Butterscotch, 2 words. I suppose I'll go through the credits. I did coding, I did camel art, I did stage design, I was the announcer. Nameless has done the music. I got inspiration from Blake Andrews. Special thanks to these 3. Rogue Pluto gave me Butterscotch's name and some general feedback. Smog was also general feedback. Lacey Bats, she is designing that other camel who may or may not end up in the Godot version. And here's the programs that I used. I already talked about these, except for Pixlr. Pixlr is what I used for these alternate versions. These victory screens. That's what I used to color the camels and add the text. That's pretty much all I have to say. I'll go into the code and show you some of it, but that's pretty much it for camel race tests. You can see that my directional code is really, really bad, and it's also copy and pasted mostly. But I wanted to make a very different dynamic in this than was in horse race tests. Because in horse race tests, you're racing for glory, basically. There's like carrots at the end of the finish line, but this is like everybody goes home at the end of the day after a good race, and it's chill like that. Not here. In camel race tests, I wanted to make it a very different feel, because you're in the desert. These aren't like sanctioned races. This is a race to what little water is even in this desert. So one of the ideas that I have is if a camel races 3 times in a row and doesn't win any, it just dies of thirst. I don't know if I'm gonna do that, but it would be really funny. But on the other hand, a camel, I feel like that could very easily result in me needing an actual ton of camel sprites. Because if a camel dies, I'm probably going to have to replace it. Because after long, I'll end up having only 1 or 2 camels, and that's not very entertaining. You get down to 1 camel, that guy's going to win every race now. But yeah, that's just an idea. I don't know if I'm going to end up doing that. That's a question for after I have everything coded and I'm actually making multiple races and posting them. But that's pretty much all I had to say about camel race tests. I'm pretty proud with what I was able to accomplish in this scratch build. And I'm excited to see how the Godot builds in the future work. So again, big thanks to Blake Andrews, big thanks to Nameless. Pretty much everybody who's helped me so far, thank you a lot, because this has been a really fun project to work on. And that's pretty much it. If all goes well, today I should also be releasing a video on my Bionicle channel, so be on the lookout for that. But thank you for watching. Thank you for watching me talk for about, 15 minutes? About camels. I will most definitely do a dev commentary once I've gotten more races and more sophisticated builds. And especially more camels. But yeah, thank you for watching. Development will continue to be documented in more than just dev commentaries. I have a lot of screenshots of stuff. Really, really ancient builds of this that barely do anything, but are still fun. I might put some of that up on screen right now if I have anything that I think could serve for a good, a quick, interesting prototype image. But yeah, that's pretty much it with camel race tests, at least for now. I will be posting the individual races once I have them. I will be posting them to Twitter. And once I have maybe 5 to 10 races at once, I will compile all of them. And then I will post that as one big video on YouTube. Though I might also post the individual races as they come out. Those could be good YouTube shorts maybe. But I'd have to change the aspect ratio. I'll have to figure all that out after I've coded how to actually do this, because I don't have anything to show for it. And those are the questions that I ask once I have something to show. But yeah, this was a great time. Development is going great. That's pretty much it.